Welcome to episode 5 of Emulating Jack Young. I hope you're still enjoying the series. If you are, please smash that like button. It'd be much appreciated. In this episode, we're going to be holidaying all the way until our players are aged 26. And I've already holidayed one year. It's now June 2024 and we're 24 years old. So we're getting into that period where we're coming out of our youth years. We're now going into that period where we should be playing the best football of our lives. And we've already seen a couple changes at the top of the current ability rankings. You can see Kagu Commons is now top. The Northern Irish Chelsea central midfielder or defensive midfielder is having a final time in England. Look how many assists he got last season. 24 in the league, 30 in all competitions. That is quite insane from him. He also scored 14 goals. He is a creative master. 20 passing, 20 vision. Wow, that is pretty stunning, isn't it? And the likes of Simon Stark, Santa Claus to Jada, Declan Frew are up there. There's been a few changes. Some players have sort of hit their limit, I guess, in terms of current ability, and they're not progressing any further. And there's other players that are slowly climbing up to the top. Banana and Thomas Barrow, still, they're at the bottom, unfortunately. But I'm sure they're still having good careers nonetheless. Current reputation-wise, with Kagu Commons top again, he's an absolute wonder star. Wonder star, is that a saying? I've created it. He's a wonder star. But Mohamed Hendy Jr. is the guy that is top of the international rankings. He's got 84 caps under his belt and he's only 24 years old. Jae Young Park as well, our South Korean Jack Young, is doing very well internationally and also club-wise. He's playing for Bayern Munich now. There's only two players that haven't played for their country, Andreas Egg and Banana, who of course did get caps for Cameroon, but since moving to his allegiance to Switzerland, he's not managed to get capped by his country yet. Goals-wise, Sean Watson still leading the way, 46 goals. Daniel Gannon doing well for Ireland as well, and Rousey closing in on the record, I guess. He's on 39 goals already, and he's only 24, so that's very impressive. All-time appearances, you can see Sander Tielemans leading the way with 421. He's still playing for Monaco. We've got Robbie Rotten still playing for Arsenal, not far behind, and Daniel Jordan as well doing very well. Luigi Balotelli is the player that has played the least number of games at club level in his career, and Charlie Apsey is about to hit 100 at last. Top goal scorer though, Scotland Serenity has almost hit 200 goals at club level, which is very, very impressive. This season, top goal scorer was Kevin Tejada, 35 goals for Chelsea. Incredibly impressive record. Sam Austin not far behind, our San Marino striker. Where are San Marino in the world rankings? 176th, which I don't think is too bad. They've actually improved since having Charlie Austin and who's the other guy? Lorenzo Rossi. Both of these have certainly improved San Marino. Assist-wise this season, it was Kagu Commons, of course, but Wolfgang Smed's got 25 assists for Man United after moving from West Brom for 58 million. He's having a good career. I think most of the players are having a good career. Zebu Nation though, 40 clean sheets this season for Monaco. That is insane. Did they win Ligue 1? No, PSG still won it. They've managed to win one title, but PSG still dominating in France. You can see Rousey top goal scorer there this season in Ligue 1. Value wise, most expensive player is Joel Gnabry, our Swiss PSG striker. £71 million he's worth. But there's plenty of guys worth a huge amount of money. If we just scroll down for the first time in this episode just to have a look, there is a hell of a lot of money involved here. And some very rich men, as you can see from the wages as well. There's so many players earning over 100k a week now. They're quite incredible really, but that's what we expect. We created these beasts on the editor and they've turned into world-class talented players who are just destroying world football, knocking everyone out of their way. Very impressive stuff from the guys all the way down to the bottom. So the least valuable player is Anders Sendersvik at Chelsea, but that's probably because his contract's about to run out. It's not actually, he's only just signed a new contract, so I don't know why he's worth so little. I suppose it's because he's a goalkeeper and he's not actually first choice either since moving from San Lorenzo. So he might need to move on if he wants to find a new... If he wants to be a number one, he's going to have to move clubs, but he's decided to stay as Chelsea's number 2 by the looks of it. Moving swiftly on to 2025 then, you can see Kagu Commons, 194 current ability. I don't know if we're going to get any players reaching 200 this time. In previous series we have, because I've often set some players, the Patreons, to have 200 current potential ability. So we did see a few players reaching those heady heights, but this time around everyone's set to -10, meaning there might not be any players with over 100 and, I mean, this might be the highest, 194 might be the highest. We're 25 years old now, so we really should have reached our prime by this point. Kagecom is just sensational. Santa Claus as well, Finnish Man City goalkeeper, is pretty insane. Josh Holling, Welsh Dortmund player, he's up there as well, moved to Dortmund for 48 million from Aston Villa. A couple of Welsh players are up there, in fact. Sam Williams has moved to Barcelona this season for £42 million from Leicester City. Lowest current ability is still banana, but Brian Drew, Thomas Barrow's somehow whizzed ahead. He's just moved to Hertha for £5.25 million. Had a lot of games under his belt this season. Not a very good average rating, but that I assume has helped boost his rating. Brian Drew is actually at the bottom, playing for Atletico Madrid. Moved for £13.25 million this year, so he can't be that bad a player for them to sign him. He's the guy that plays for Georgia. So let's just scroll down from lowest to the best in terms of current ability. You can see Nodar, we've focused on him a bit because I quite like his name, it stands out, and he's having a decent time with Aston Villa actually. We have a look to this guy, Quinan Vos, our Slovenian central defender. He has been a journeyman, but not really intentionally, because he's moved to Real Madrid and then been on loan to multiple different teams. Moved to Villarreal on loan, but finally has left Real Madrid to go to Marseille for £3.7 million. He needs to get a proper club interested in him and focused on him. Dylan McDonough, an Irish Middlesbrough player. Now he's the sort of player I've been talking about from the start of the series, someone who becomes, I guess, a club icon, a club legend. If we just have a look at Middlesbrough, he is actually on favoured personnel, and so is Mohamed Hendy Jr. in fact. Those are the sort of players, the players that stay at one club, become legends over time. It's a bit different, isn't it, to just moving around all the top teams all the time. I like those sort of players. Tea Drinker, a West Brom Englishman. 14 caps for England. He moved to from Bristol City to West Brom for £36 million and has stayed at West Brom ever since. Matthew Macbeth, Liverpudlian, well, Scottish player playing for Liverpool, moved for a lot of money. Looks like he's settled in Liverpool. Here's me, Golden FM. I'm now back at Roma, the original team that I signed for. I went on loan 3 times. Finally have broken into the first team, and this season 25 goals. I think it's my most successful season yet. So I'm pleased to see myself. I've stayed at Roma, I've stayed loyal despite being loaned out a few times, and it's come good in the end. 57 caps with the Cayman Islands, 6 goals as well. Not too bad at all. Let's keep going down then. There's some very, very talented players here. Lots of players that are world class. 175 plus world class players. There's plenty in there, which is great to see. There's certain players like Sander Tielemans have got stuck. They got to 182 very quickly, but that was their limit. They can't get past that period. They were early bloomers, but other players have slowly progressed up the rankings, haven't they? Current reputation, still Kagecom at the top, as you would probably expect at this stage. Caps-wise, Mohamed Hendy Jr. is only 3 off 100. Phenomenal stuff from him. And Jay Young Park not far behind as well. But Scotland Serenity, 84 caps for Scotland. Not bad going at all. And Andreas Egg is the only player not to be capped now, because Banana's actually picked up... Oh, he started playing for Cameroon again. He can't make up his mind, can he? That's really strange. So he must have pledged his allegiance to Switzerland and then swapped back to Cameroon, and now he scored 5 goals in 6 games for them. That is really bizarre. What is he doing? I don't understand why he's done that. But there we go. Finally he's seen sense and decided to go back to his original country and play for Cameroon. Aidan Flood has picked up 1 cap for England, hoping to get some more, I suppose. He's playing for Watford. He's finally left Man City, who he just couldn't break into that team. Moved to Watford for a lot of money. Had a decent first season and a better second season, so he might get back into the England team sooner rather than later. Sean Watson has broken 50 goals for Canada, which is very good. Well done to him. All-time appearances, Sander Tielemans closing in on 500 now. And Balotelli has the least, but he's almost reached 100, which is good to see. All-time goals, Scotland Serenity. Of course, he's near the top as well. Dr. Mister towards the top as well, which is good to see. A Nigerian attacking player, playing for Bayern Munich, moved for £62 million, a lot of money. But he's doing well. As is Brad Stewart, an Australian striker. For Schalke, he's scoring plenty of goals. King Jiggy up there as well. He's playing a Danish player playing for Barcelona, moved for £62 million. There's so much money. I don't know what the biggest fee is, but it must be getting towards 100 million now. We might have not seen the highest amount yet. Why can't I click on this? What am I clicking on? This is what I want to click on. Top goal scorer this season, Sam Austin, 31 goals. Franco Hara, Makhmouchev, myself, all doing very well as well this season. Parmaku at Hoffenheim now. Moved to LA Galaxy for 1 season before moving to Hoffenheim. And he's had a very good season this year. Good to see him doing well after... He wasn't really... Derby didn't give him a huge amount of confidence, did they? They didn't really want to give him a proper contract at one point. Most assists, once again, is Kagu Commons. What a player. Ragnarsson up there as well. Guy that's actually on loan from Man United at the moment. 15.75 million they signed him for. Didn't really break into that team. He's been a journey, man. He's not emulating Jack Young, but he's having an interesting career, that's for certain. He's actually joining permanently very soon, in fact. He's now at Leipzig. Was it Leipzig? I think so. Yeah, Leipzig. Clean sheets wise, top was Michael Duncan for West Brom. Scottish goalkeeper, having a very good season. Good to see. Value wise, the top one is Kevin Tejeda, £79 million he's worth now. Where am I going? Here we go. And he's only just moved. I think this is the biggest fee yet. He has £222 million worth of fees. That is just insane. Of course, Lanús signed him on a free at the start of the game. Sporting then signed him. Leverkusen 50 million, Chelsea 80 million, and they did actually make a bit of a profit, and of course had 3 very good seasons from him in the process. £86 million to PSG, 20 goals this season. What formation did they play in? Because who do they play up front? They've got so many brilliant players here in this team. They've even got Andreas Egg, who hasn't been capped by Germany, but he's actually in the PSG team. It's really interesting. So many players. Rousey, in fact, has been dropped as their main striker as a result of Tejeda moving there. That very is intriguing. Very much is intriguing. That's what I meant to say. At least value is Anders Sandvik, still the backup keeper for Chelsea. Keepers are generally towards the bottom, as you'd expect. When we get into the 30s, though, they start to move to the top, because they're still very good players, and some of the attacking players, of course, their value goes down when they reach their 30s. Bananas moved to Villarreal. Was he at Villarreal before? No, he's only just moved there. 2.4 million. Didn't play many games though. He was first choice at Real Betis, and suddenly he's not first choice at Villarreal. I don't know quite what happened there, but there we go. Wage-wise, Rousey, earning 300k a week at PSG, but like I said, he's not exactly first choice now. So maybe one of the other big boys will decide to sign him. Also, Jack Young Ginger up there, Scottish striker, moved to Real Madrid for £48 million and earning a hell of a lot of money there, scoring quite a few goals this season as well. Good to see. Twold Medine, another Real Madrid player. They've actually signed players for less money than the likes of PSG, which is quite interesting. We're on to our last update of today's video then. It's June 2026. The players are 26 years old, about to be 27 in a couple of weeks' time. As always, the save file for episode 5 at this point is in the description below. So you can download that and have a look at things in a bit more detail if you want to have a look at some of the players. As you can see, we've got 2 players that have reached 197 current ability. Josh Holling, PSG central midfielder, who's only just moved there for £72 million. They spend so much money, it is ridiculous. Last season, 220 million. The year before, 149 million, 159, 163, 261, 76, 189, 82, 172, 60. That is just ridiculous how much money they are spending every single season. The other player is Jae-Young Park. 110 caps for South Korea now. And he's not actually that clinical for Bayern Munich, but that's mainly because he's not clinical, of course, because he's an attacking midfielder, not a striker, but he's very good at creating goals, as you can see, and his average ratings are very, very high. But look at all these players with over 190 current ability. Ben Chapman up there, the AC Milan player. Franco Hara, French striker for Man City. So much talent here. The worst player, Brian Drew, and it's actually Brian Drew hasn't improved this season. Banana's still towards the bottom. He's moved to Fulham. Following the career of Banana is very interesting because he spent so much time at Betis, didn't get in the first team at Villarreal, and now he's moved to Fulham in the Premier League. They were relegated though. You can see Man City have won the last 3 league titles. Current reputation, let's have a look. Kagyu Commons still out on top as you would expect. The lowest is Fred Thorpe, Man United goalkeeper. I think he's their second choice, so he's not particularly high up. Looking at international caps, we've got 2 players on 110 caps, Jae-Young Park and Mohamed Hendy Jr. But there's plenty of players that are about to hit 100. They're not far off, are they? It's going to be very soon when they get to 100 caps for their country. Has everyone been capped yet? Yes! Andreas Egger suddenly picked up 4 caps for Germany. Flood is still on 1, but this series, I think it's the first time we've had every single player capped by their country. I might be wrong. I kind of feel like in previous series we've had a few English players that haven't been capped. Or maybe I'm wrong, but at least we can say it. In this series, every single player was capped by their country, which is brilliant. Daniel Gannon is actually the top goal scorer now. Sean Watson, I don't think he's added to his tally, has he? But Daniel Gannon certainly has 66 goals in 80 games for Ireland. That is very impressive. There's a few players that haven't managed to score goals for their country, of course. Mainly the goalkeepers and defenders. Din Mama, attacking midfielder, hasn't scored for Sweden in 25 games. Let's move on then to all-time appearances. And Sander Tielemans has broken that 500 barrier. Let's have a look at him then. He's had a... Well, he's the sort of player I wanted to see this series. Someone that's turned into an icon. He's not reached the legendary status for Monaco yet, but there's only one person that has. But maybe he will manage to get to being a Monaco legend if he stays. He's had a phenomenal career there, hasn't he? Daniel Jordan's not far behind. He's on 488 for Arsenal. Their main centre-back, and Robbie Rossen, the Arsenal #1, and Iceland #1, having a brilliant time there as well. Least appearances is Anders Sandvik. He's at the bottom now. He's moved to Sunderland though. He's finally left Chelsea, decided I want to be #1, and he's picked up quite a few appearances this season for Sunderland. So good for him. I'm glad he's found a club that want to play him. All-time goals, Scotland Serenity leading the way, 239. Daniel Carter the third, Ben Chapman and Rousey have all managed to get 200 goals at club level. Rousey's reached 200 despite not being... But I mean, look at that, 20 goals this season despite being second choice, I suppose, up front. If we look at the top goal scorer this season, it was actually Brad Stewart for Schalke, then Sam Austin for Leverkusen. Joel Narbel, that's all the players playing in Germany that have done really well, in fact. Tejada and O'Hara managed to get 30 goals this season, and Jack Young Ginger as well doing well for Real Madrid. Most assists, Kagyu Commons, 36 assists. That is ridiculous, it really is. Jae-Young Park 25, Erik Sivanen for Man City doing pretty well, and Pankulfen as well. Pankulfen for Man City. Clean sheets, joint top was Ryan Reid for Benfica. He's been there a long time. And Zebu Nation for Monaco. He's been there quite a while as well. Average rating wise, I haven't looked at that actually, but Erik Sivanen is top this time round for Man City. He's having a really good time there actually, after moving for £58 million. And value wise, Kevin Tejada is still top. He's worth £78 million now. The lowest is Anders Sandvik at Sunderland. Wage wise, wow, Baked Benz is earning £350,000 a week at Arsenal. How are they paying so much money? That is ridiculous. He is a very rich person indeed. And the Weaver is also earning £350k at Arsenal. Actually, this is really weird because the top 4 players are all at Arsenal. Mark Furlong's 325k, moved for 31.5 million this year, and he's earning a huge amount. And Declan Frew as well, who's been at Arsenal a while. They've just suddenly handed out a ton of money. Why? That is crazy. What are they? Well, they're obviously rich. Oh, they're worth £2 billion. So they must be the richest club in the world or something. Because to have... That is crazy. Baked Benz is the key player as well. Well, Arsenal are paying stupid money, but are they getting any success on the pitch? We'll find out in a bit, I suppose. At lowest wage, Fred Thogop still earning a reasonable amount of money, £21,500 a week. Moving on to some competitions, and we haven't seen a World Cup since the last episode, but Belgium managed to beat Sweden in Euro 2024. We don't have any Belgian players, do we, in this series? There's a few Swedish players, so we've obviously helped them do quite well. But interesting that Belgium are good on the game anyway, but we've not actually boosted them at all, and they've done very well. Beaten Scotland in the semi-final, who of course we have improved, and Ireland as well, because they've got all these amazing players that we've produced for them. They're only 7th in the world rankings though. Brazil are top, then England, Portugal, Argentina, Sweden are up there. Scotland's still pretty high in the list, doing very well. Transfer-wise, I'd like to know who is the biggest transfer ever. Is there a way of doing that? Is there a way of looking at records somewhere? I don't know. Maybe not. I just want to see who is the most expensive player of all time. So if we go to August, let's say, August 2025, the biggest fee. No. July? 55. Narbel, 55 million? Or 81 million? Oh, I don't know. Oh, it can rise to 80 something. A lot of money it can rise. Oh, it can rise to £81 million. It's transferred from PSG to Bayern Munich. That's an interesting transfer, actually. Scott Thurston moving from Everton to Arsenal for a lot of money as well. Anik Ahmed, one of our players. There's lots of money involved anyway. Club-wise, you can see, but Bayern Munich are top, but financially, Arsenal, £2 billion. They're almost £500 million ahead of Chelsea and Man United. What has happened at Arsenal to have that much money? I bet they're still not spending it. No, they are. We've seen them spend it, but they wouldn't be if Arsene Wenger was still there. You can see in that first season when they did have Arsene Wenger, they didn't spend any money. And was he still there at this point? Maybe, but they did buy Lacazette. But over the last few years, they have spent more and more. Although, yeah, last season 110 million. Quite a lot of money spent, I guess, on players, and 2 of them are ours. Competitions, top one in the league is still the Premier League, as you can see there. World Player of the Year, Erik Sirvenen has won it 3 times in a row. It's not really a player we've focused on that much. He's been towards the top of the list, and he's done very well for Man City. And I think it is because of those average ratings that he's done so well. He has won it 3 seasons in a row, which is very, very impressive. He finished 3rd to Neymar in 2022. But then, 2023, he finished 1st. Scotland Serenity was 2nd. And Joshua Gawley was 3rd. And then in 2024, Pogba was 2nd. Mukmahusiv, Cameroonian, was 3rd. And then the season just gone, Kagu Commons 2nd. He deserves that, doesn't he? And Jae-Young Park as well. Very, very interesting. If we look at FIFA Ballon d'Or, he's also won it 3 years in a row. There's no 2nd or 3rd place. But looking at World Team of the Year then, let's have a look at the last 3 seasons. So, we've got the likes of Kagu Commons in there, Sirvenen, Gawley, Serenity, Sajeda in there as well. And then a couple seasons ago, we saw... There's still a lot of real-life players in here. Wolfkin Smeds has been in there as well. Mahusiv, Jae-Young Park, and this season just gone. It is Mahusiv up front most of the time, actually. Bayern Munich striker. 24 goals this season, moved for £43.5 million a few years ago. And having a fantastic time. Jack Old's in there as well, that's good to see. The Austrian. 54 goals in 91 games for Austria. He's prolific, isn't he, for his country. Champions League-wise, the last 3 winners, Bayern Munich, Chelsea and Man United. Man City have lost 2 finals in a row, which is pretty unfortunate. Europa League, Monaco, Arsenal and Benfica. So there's lots of players playing for all those winners, aren't there, in our short list of players. We've already looked at the Premier League, but you can see Man City have dominated the last 3 seasons. Man United is still doing very well though. La Liga has been dominated by Real Madrid, with Barcelona finishing 2nd every single season. That's pretty predictable. As we said, Monaco have won this league title this year. PSG have dominated most of the time, but Monaco have managed to upend PSG, which is good to see. Not if you're a PSG fan, of course. Serie A. It's interesting because Juventus dominated for the first few years, but we've seen Napoli, AC Milan dominate the last few years. But Juventus have finally come back to win the league this season. And the Bundesliga, mainly dominated by Bayern Munich, but Leverkusen managed to win the title this year. We've got a few decent players playing for Leverkusen as well, haven't we? If we just look here, you can see Brad Stewart, top scorer for Schalke, top scorer in the league, Sam Austin for Leverkusen, and Joel Nabel for Bayern Munich. There's a real mixture of our players in here. And we will end the video here, guys. I've tried to whiz through as quickly as possible. I'm aware I don't want to make videos too long, which is why I've put the save file in the description so you can have a look at things in a bit more detail. Try to scroll down as well so you can pause the video to have a look at all these key statistics. But I hope you've enjoyed the series so far. We're probably about halfway now. The next episode I will be going until the age of 29, and then there will be a special episode after that where I go an extra year, and I'm going to do a longer episode at the age of 30 to just look at all the players in detail. That's essentially going to be an extra episode, and we'll take it from there after that, because the players will start to retire after the age of 30, I guess. But thanks for watching so far. It's been interesting, hasn't it? Some really great careers for some of these players. Please smash that like button, leave your thoughts in the comment section below, and I will see you in episode 6.